My name is Joseph Francis Cimino. I'm originally from Camden and Pennsauken, New Jersey. I worked as a corrections officer in the county of Camden from 1990 to 2003. In 1997, I had a severe nervous breakdown. I was institutionalized several times and I was out of work for 11 months. This is a big story, so it's hard for me to get it straight in my head and recount it on video. I believe that episode in 1997 was a deliberate effort by the federal government to effect an MK Ultra program on me and turn me into an assassin. My grandfather was a well-known in his circles. He was an engineer at a Fortune 500 company. My father was a police officer. That's how I ended up in corrections. I was severely abused as a child, beaten badly. I've been hit by trucks. I've had my head split open, legs broken twice. I got hit by a truck when I was 9. I got up and walked away. Went to the hospital for a few hours. Doctor checked me out and they sent me home. The guy who hit me in the truck, it wasn't his fault. I ran out across the street I shouldn't have been crossing. But he came over shaking and my father gave him a drink. He gave him a shot of something. The guy was shaking, wondering if I was okay. And then the guy tried to give my dad a bill for the grill that I broke because he hit me. And I was so big and strong as a 9-year-old, I bent his fucking grill in of his fucking old Ford pickup truck. I've always been a tough son of a bitch. A little geeky, naive when it came to people, especially girls. Probably from low self-esteem. But I knew how to take a beating. I knew how to take abuse. And I took a lot of it as a kid. A lot of hollering, a lot of screaming, a lot of alcoholic rages. My father was a maniac. And anybody who knew my father knew he was a maniac. But he was a cop and he got away with everything. I tried to ignore him the best I could. I really did. I was still an honor student. I mean, it wasn't all bad. I'm not going to totally diss my dad. It wasn't all bad, but he was a bad man. Did bad things to me. But I was still an honor student. I was still an all-state athlete. Made it to the state championships in wrestling. Perhaps some counselor would look at me and say I was a classic overachiever. I don't know. In my mind, I was an underachiever. If that made any sense. Because I could have done so much more, but I rarely studied, and how the hell I made honor rolls all the time is, I just had natural talent for things. And sometimes I could draw up almost a psychotic ability to to go after something, especially when I played football. I could almost like summon a demon within inside myself to knock down my opponents, sack that quarterback, even though I was kind of a slow guy because I was overweight. I was a heavy kid. I could knock down the best of them. Let me tell you something. I used to face guys on steroids, and I was just, I was 300 pounds, never lifted, never worked out. I was way overweight for my size, for my height. And I would face guys, big juiced guys, 6'3", 6'4", go to all the best universities. And I knock the shit out of them. So that's my talent. I'm tough as nails. And when you line up in front of me, chances are you're not going to win. That's just the reality. Not saying I was that way with everything. There were other battles I fought. I won some, I lost some. Could have been a better wrestler than I was. I lost stupid matches when I wrestled, but I won some, I lost some. But I took it all in stride. None of it ever mattered to me. If I lost something, I didn't care. I had people around me who loved me. It was no big deal. It was just a sporting match. And I took this job in Camden County. My father hooked me up with it, and it was how I earned my way through school. It took me a long time to graduate college. I earned my way through school. Got sidetracked, got into some prison riots, got into some fights. When I first started at the Camden County Jail, it was a bad place. You see escapes. I prevented a few escapes. I did good work for these people at the Camden County Jail. I did really good work for them. But somewhere along the line, right around 1997, and I believe it was connected to a girl who had been put up to it. Like I said, I've always been a handsome guy, really nice guy. Perhaps I was a bit of an asshole in a jail environment, but these are bad people in there. These aren't sweethearts we're dealing with. These are really bad people. And when I take a beating, I don't stop. I come back. I don't quit. There's another beating I took. So I'd get hit by trucks and football players and every other thing. That was another beating, another riot that I took. I went to work the next day. I went to my girlfriend's house, the girl I was dating at the time. Embarrassed. I had a big knot in my head. I got the shit kicked out of me. I went in and tried to back up someone else. Went in where angels fear to tread. I could have just shut the door and let him get his ass kicked. But I went in there and took the beating with him. Went to work the next day like nothing happened, but I figured, now that I know the reality of the situation, hey, it's time to beef up. And I got with a friend who would like to work out. And, I figured, I could lose a few pounds and work out, get with that guy. And, he put some discipline into me. And I started going to the gym, and boy, did I bulk up. Because I can do these things naturally. I don't need steroids. There was one point where I weighed 210 and I could bench press 450, and I did it without steroids because I'm a beast. I'm just a human anomaly in that way. I just have that kind of strength. I'm a beast. And then the feedback started getting to me. Started realizing that some of the people I were working with, my friends weren't my friends. They were more my enemies than my friends now. And here I was. I thought I was being strong for my people, being strong for myself, fighting the good fight against the bad guys. Sorry, my computer monitor went dark. Fighting the fight against the good guys, and apparently I wasn't a good guy anymore. I guess it was like that Batman movie. You fight the battle long enough, you become the bad guy. So I took that to heart. A lot of people started telling me, you're creating problems just walking around this place. I wasn't in that area facility. So some inmate would say, you started it. How the hell did I start it? I was on the second floor. I wasn't even on and I don't want to give up details of where I worked. I wasn't even in that area. How the hell did I start it? I was getting all kinds of stuff from different people. It's his fault. He's a racist. He's doing that. He's doing this. He's creating all these problems. And all I was thinking was, I was just being strong against bad people. That's all I was thinking. I don't know why nobody else understood that. Everybody else just thought I was just deliberately trying to be an asshole. I was just trying to be strong against bad people. Because that's who I was. That's the kind of guy I am. But anyway, I started to feel real guilty. That perhaps maybe I was not solving problems, I was creating them. And that's the last thing I ever wanted to be, was a problem creator, not a problem solver. I didn't want to be a problem creator. So I took that to heart. And I tried to change myself. I went into a deep personal analysis about how and why I do things. And then I met a girl on hospital duty. It was a rare occasion, an almost unheard of occasion, where they sent me to guard a female inmate. And at first I was flattered. I thought, because they might not have liked me, but they knew I would always do a job right for them. Whenever they asked me to do an assignment, like I said, I prevented 2 escapes. As a corrections officer, I mean, sometimes you work correction 30 years and never even see an escape. I've seen 3 and prevented 2. Right? And that was only a 13-year career. So they did something almost unheard of. They said, we're short-staffed of women tonight, and we're going to send you to guard this woman at the hospital. Okay, I mean, a big deal. It's not like I'm going to hit on a female inmate. It's just a job. What the hell am I going to do? So anyway, I'm sitting there with the inmate, and she would talk every once in a while, and it was just chatter. I was always trying to be respectful with the female inmate. I didn't want to be inappropriate with her in any way. And I always made sure the attending nurse was around when, she administered care or medication or whatever she was doing with her. And she would bring me a little bit, some juice. And the female inmate said to me, that girl likes you. I said, really? I didn't feel that from her. She just looked like she was just a nurse doing her job. She said, yeah, she likes you. She digs you, I can tell. I was free at the time. So I very politely and very nicely at the end of the shift asked her out. A little scared to do it. No one likes rejection. A little scared to do it. And she said yes, gave me her number, and we started dating. And then it became hot, and then it became heated. There was something curious about her. Her actions and her words weren't lining up. And I was kind of falling for her. And I figured that if she really didn't feel the way she said she felt about me, it was kind of okay, because I wasn't always, the best boyfriend to other girls I had dated. So, it was all right. If, either she's losing interest or, that's fine. It wasn't like I hadn't been rejected by a girl before. I have. There's no problem. But for some reason, she would just come back and keep saying the same stuff to me, crying in front of me. And now, as I'm falling for her, my interest is more piqued. I guess I was a young man. I was young and stupid, right? So I'm kind of, what's her game? What's her deal now? Sort of, what the hell's going on here with this? She doesn't seem like, she says things that she doesn't seem like she's really behaving that way. And she kept suckering me. I would kept trying to just break it off. I said, look, I don't think this is working out the way you're saying this is, I didn't know. I didn't have this kind of experience with girls. Usually when I had a girl, they'd always call you and bother you. She'd disappear for 2 weeks and then call me. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, maybe maybe it's something I'm not getting. Maybe this is like a more mature dating age or something that I'm not understanding. Right? So I'm like, maybe I'm not getting this. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being too selfish with this girl. Right? She's a very bright girl. Let her be her, right? But then after a while, I'd be like, no, this isn't working. And then she'd start crying. She'd start crying on my lap. And I knew as a younger man to ignore the crocodile tears, but she really would turn it on. She would curl up and just turn it on me. I'd be like, well, maybe I can get her to come around. Of course, fallacy, right? Maybe I can get her to come around then. Maybe she's a little confused about something. I give her a little time and maybe she'll come around. And we had a great summer. It was fantastic. One of the best summers I ever had. Shore house. A little bit of partying, a little bit of skinny dipping. Some nice love making. Just good stuff. It's nice. It was nice. Real nice. And then it came time where I had to make a decision in my life. I had to move out of my house because my parents were bad and they were driving me nuts and it was affecting my work and I had to get the hell out of there. I'm still a young man. I'm still 24, 25 years old. A lot of stress in my life. Like I said, the beatings, the riots, all kinds of crazy shit. The fights. And I really had no problem with it. I had a problem with people coming down on me for my behavior over it. We're not fighting saying, these aren't godly people. These are bad people. These are people with AIDS or people spit on you. This is really nasty stuff. You can't go to work in an environment like that, especially a big guy like me, without a certain attitude of, you're not going to get to me. You're not going to get to me. Right? I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, but like I said, I was getting bad feedback, so I tried to change a little bit. I tried to soften up. So anyway, I ended up moving in with this girl for a few weeks, and it didn't work out. I said, look, I was just totally convinced that she was just full of shit. I don't even know why she let me move in with her. I said, so I said, so we're living together now. I said, you can't be doing this. You can't, there's no girls' night out anymore. I was trying to assert a little more. She was like, well, that's just the way I am, and you're just going to have to accept it. And she kept saying that, but yet she'd come back crying at me. I said, like, okay, that's the way you are. Goodbye. And maybe she thought I was playing a game back with her. I don't know. I really wasn't. I was, look, if this is who you are, if this is who you really are, then just go be who you are, but just don't be it without me, right? Just don't be, don't fuck with me over it. Just go be who you are. Do whatever it is you do. I don't care. Make your own money or your own person. Have a blast, but I can't hang around for this. So I ended up having to buy my own condo because I couldn't go home again. My parents were lunatics, constantly arguing, constantly screaming. And it was stressful because, you're signing your life on the dotted line. You're signing your life away. Turned out that condo ended up being worth a lot of money. Let me tell you something. In New Jersey, the conventional wisdom was you don't buy condos because they always depreciate. The one I bought, it went up. Went up big time. If I'd have held on to that, I got out and made money. But if I had held on to that, I would have made a lot more money. I made the right choice with that condo. The right choice. So of course she tries to weasel her way into my life, and now I'm all screwed up in the head because now I got problems at work with people on my dick, right? I got problems with, I just signed my life away in a mortgage, you know. And I'm trying to hold it together, trying to still do the best job I can, trying to be a decent, you know, nice corrections officer or whatever. But it was tough. It was stressful. I'm not going to say it wasn't. It was tough. Trying to date again. When I was brokenhearted. I was busted up about it. So I really started to feel like I was really, really being deceived by this person, and she was playing a game the whole time. And when that really started sinking in on me, man, I started deteriorating bad. But I held it together. I went to work. I did the things I had to do. Right? I had brother somewhere, and I went down to see him because I was concerned about him. Because he had left home when he was 18. He couldn't take being around my parents either. He left home when he was 18. I went down to see him. And I had seen him before when I was dating this girl. And he was living in squalor. But then again, his room was always messy. But he was just living in this little one-bedroom place, and I felt terrible for him. Because my brother had taken abuse also. So I felt bad for him. So I just wanted to go down and see him and check up on him and see how he was. And out of nowhere, that boy freaked the fuck out on me. It was like I was looking in my own face, yelling back at me. That boy freaked the fuck out on me. And I was scared shitless, paralyzed shitless. Now I work with dangerous guys who said all kinds of crap to me. But this kid came totally out of the blue. Totally out of the blue, started fucking yelling at me. Just stupid shit. And I was like, I tried to gather myself and I said, Dan, maybe I should just go. And he was like, you're not going anywhere. What? So I guess I kind of felt into that child of an alcoholic, just go along with it until you can get out of it type of thing. Because I wasn't home anymore. I was not in Kansas anymore. I didn't live in Kansas, but I was not home anymore. I was in his neck of the woods. So I just tried to play it cool until I can get out of there. And he'd call me and he'd say this or that. He'd say, you want to go to the movies? What movie? I don't even remember what movie we were supposed to see. We started talking about Mexican drug dealers, and I don't even know what the hell he was talking about. So I'm 24, 25, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get out of this. So I'm almost, this is not anything I would normally do because I wasn't a police officer. I was a corrections officer, right? I never threw my badge around. I was still a peace officer and had powers of arrest. But we were never expected to act as police officers, even though I did make an arrest one time. So I would never be throwing my badge around at people. But I tried to pull rank on them. I said, say, Dan, I'm a corrections officer. You can't, if you're talking about law breaking, because I just wanted to get out of the situation. I actually tried to tell a cop about it, and the cop laughed at me. Said, guy, there's all kinds of shit going on around here. That's what he said. He said, guy, there's all kinds of crap going on around here. Nice badge and all, but what are you gonna do? And I was like, holy fucking shit, man, I'm trapped down here with this lunatic brother of mine. So I go hop on I escaped from him, if you call it that. I checked into a Hampton Inn right near the movie theater just to hang out there until I could figure out what to do. And he called me. I guess he knew where I went when I ran away. I just left him at the movie theater. I just bolted. So he must have known where I went. I went to Hampton Inn, and I don't know what the fuck to do. So I called the front desk and I said, look, I said, call me a cab. And take me to the bus station. Just take me to the fucking bus station. I gotta get the fuck out of this town. I don't want to fuck with anybody here. I don't know what's going on here. My brother's yelling at me out of fucking nowhere. I gotta get the fuck out of this fucking joint. I'm totally outmatched. Whatever the hell's going on, I gotta go. So here I am at this, I'm trying to stay on camera in a convenience store waiting for this cab to come because I want there to be a record in case somebody attacks me out of nowhere. So I'm trying to stay on camera in this convenience store waiting for this cab to come get me. Now I'm fucking petrified because I don't know what the fuck's going on. All kinds of weird shit's happening. So this guy drives me 30 miles to the bus station, and I'm impatient the whole time. I'm screaming at him. I said, hurry up, let's go, let's move. I'll give you a big tip. He even wanted to charge me $60 for a ride. I was like, yeah, whatever, here's 60, 80, let's go. Fucking move it, put your fucking pedal down. Let's get the fuck out of this fucking place, right? It's time to beat it, time to go. And I get to the bus station where I'm going, and I walk in. Here goes the fucking screensaver again. Hold on. It's time for me to smoke while I'm telling the story, so hold on. So I get down to this fucking bus station, right? I walk in the front door. Now my brother is kind of an amateur keyboard player. When we were growing up, I was a big fan of the rock band, yes. So my brother really liked Rick Wakeman. So he got a Moog keyboard, he got all these crazy keyboards, and he developed some pretty good finger speed. He needed some more training, with scales and, coordination and things, but he could do a few runs. I mean, he had some pretty good fingers. It's a shame. He should have got more training. He could have been a pianist, my brother. He was, he was good with that. So I walk in and I hear my brother's keyboards coming out of the speakers of this fucking bus station. And now I am fucking petrified beyond belief. I hear my brother's keyboards coming out of the fucking speakers of this bus station, and people are walking around me like they don't hear it. And now my eyes are wide open, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I went to the ticket station. I'm like, do you hear that? And he's like, I don't hear anything. It's just some music coming out of the speakers or whatever. And I'm like, this is my brother playing keyboards through this fucking loudspeakers in this fucking bus station. So not only am I petrified, my mind becomes a flame, and I start trying to assess what the situation is. My mind is, I am petrified with fear, and I'm sitting at that fucking bench in that bus station, petrified, wondering what the fuck is going on. Listening to this real morbid keyboard stuff coming out of the, with little voices in the background of the fucking keyboards. I think some of it was Leave the Beaver or something. And I was like, I can't be fucking making this up in my head. There's no fucking no way I'm making this up. This is fucking real. Something's going on here. This is fucking real. There's no way I'm making this up. I'm not that crazy. I might be a little loopy, but I'm not that fucking crazy. There I am, sitting in this fucking bus station, listening to this music, waiting for my bus to be called. And finally my bus gets called. And I figure, maybe they're going to let me out of here now. I've already established it had to be a conspiracy, right? I mean, it had to be a fucking conspiracy, right? I mean, come on. This was orchestrated. This was an orchestrated event. I was deliberately pushed to this bus station, and they were ready for me. Like a rat in a maze. I had no fucking clue what was going on. I just went down to see my brother. I didn't fucking know anything. I never expressed any ill will toward him. I just wanted to go down and visit him and see how he was. I was actually going to give him some money if he was hurting for money. I was going to give him $500 or $1,000 or $1,000. I was going to give the kid some fucking money. If he was hurting, I didn't know his state down there. All I knew was the last time I was with him, he was living in a pretty bad one-bedroom place. I was going to give the kid fucking money. And now he's ranting at me about Mexican fucking drug dealers, and I'm like, I can't fucking handle this. This isn't my fuck. I gotta get out of here. So anyway, I walk out of the bus station with the keyboard still playing. I get on the fucking bus, and I'm still fucking petrified. I am fucking petrified. And I'm just saying, please, let's get this bus rolling and get back to New Jersey. The bus was going to Atlantic City. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't live anywhere near Atlantic City. I was going to take a cab or rent a car or something. Get the fuck out of Atlantic City. Get back to Camden or, where I lived. And someone on the bus convinced me to pull the bus over. And they kicked me off the bus in Virginia. Langley. I don't know if it was anywhere near Langley, but it was in Virginia. Now here I'm going to break from the story. Because right before this trip, I was training for a class. I was going to be an instructor for the Correctional Academy. Offenders with emotional handicap, something like that. It was called the ECHO course. It was called Educating, I can't even remember her name. It was ECOH. Offenders with handicaps. I know that's the last two letters, OH. I forget what the EC were. I can't think of it right now. If I think of it, I'll get back to you. It's called the ECHO class, and I went through this class with this guy who was already an instructor at the academy. I wasn't going to be a full instructor. I was supposedly just going to teach this class at the academy. I guess I was kind of excited about it. Right, you can do a little correction instructor, right? Do a little class every once in a while. But he was he'd already had teaching experience, so he was kind of the head honcho of the deal. I just kind of played along with him. He was like the leader of the thing. And we rode together, back and forth to the class every day. And at the last day of the class, he said something curious to me that I didn't remember until I got to Virginia. He said, yeah, I'll be in Virginia over the weekend. And that hit me in the head, because that's where we stopped, in Virginia. The bus driver kicked me off the bus. And now I'm completely fucked. I have no fucking idea what's going on. I'm completely fucking whacked. Now I'm thinking, yeah, I'll be in Virginia, he said. And I'm like, oh my God, here I am in Virginia. I had never had any intention of being anywhere near Virginia, but here I am in Virginia. And now I'm thinking, now this guy I was working with was in on it also. And now I'm really fucking baked. You gotta remember, I didn't do any drugs or anything. You know, I wasn't on any psych meds. I didn't do any drugs. I drank heavily sometimes. Go out, with my workout partner. We'd go out and get blasted. Drink 10, 12 beers, knock them back, eat pizza, hamburgers and shit, go after work. We used to do that all the time. But I didn't, I never did any serious drugs or anything. No drugs at all. You can't do drugs. They pop you in a drug test anytime. You lose your job on the spot. So I didn't do any drugs. So I'm standing there while the bus driver's calling the local police to come get me. All of a sudden, I went from being a corrections officer, now I'm a danger to society. I went from a corrections officer class where I was going to be an instructor, allegedly. Now, all of a sudden, I'm a danger to society. So much so that a Greyhound bus driver is calling the local police to come pick me up. And I'm standing there, and the other people are off the bus, and they're looking at me. Who's this fucking wackadoo? I asked one of them for a cigarette. No one wanted to give me a cigarette because I was shaking like a leaf. I said, somebody please give me a fucking cigarette. Somebody said, here's a cigarette. And I took a cigarette. And local cops came and got me. Local sheriff. And you know what he said to me when he let me out at a hotel? Because the deal was, the arrangement was that I was to stay. Was given direct orders by this sheriff. You were to stay, and he told the front guy, I paid for it and all, because, it's my dime, my deal. I didn't care, it wasn't like I was hurting for money. I had a good job, it was good pay. So, he said, here's a hotel. You're going to stay in this room until your parents come and get you. And I said, yes, sir. I said, okay. I was scared shitless. I was in that room petrified, watching fucking Columbo. Of all fucking things, watching Columbo. One of my favorite shows. I couldn't even concentrate on watching Columbo. Petrified in this room. And my parents came and got me. I actually went out of the room, and I was scared because I was hungry. I wanted something to drink and something to eat because I was starving. And I was actually afraid to leave the room to go into the main hotel lobby to get something to eat. The little girl was looking at me like, what the hell are you doing out of your room? Didn't the cop tell you to stay in your room? And I said, fuck that. I gotta get something to eat. I'm fucking starving here. So it took my parents, 6 or 7 hours to drive from where they were. Come pick me up in Virginia. And my father's, what the hell are you doing? What's your problem? You had a plane ticket back home. Why did you get on a bus and drive home?